think twice, my shooter in the Vick. 10th grade, bought a frame, peel off licks. Pack set, feel like I'm cruising on the ship. It's your birthday, put some ice on your wrist. I reached every goal, had to write another list. I'm struggling on toe, I should biting on the lip. I fly across the globe and I call another hit. They watching cause they know how slimy it can get. I'm running to the top, I'm bottom of the ditch. You think rap burn and he running out of hits. Say the wrong word, I'm shooting me. You some big dog, you a poodle, I'm a pit. I'm trying to dog just as far as I can spit.
Hello YouTube, welcome back to KLA Sports. I'm your host Kyle Alexander, and today with all the crazy stuff that's going on in the country and this year in 2020, we're going to shift our focus a little bit. We're not going to go too political, but we're just going to go based on what focus on a high school athlete and talk about what he said. Alright, so currently I'm going to put the tweet up right here. Top basketball player in the class of 23, Mikey Williams, tweeted that going to a HBCU wouldn't be too bad. Alright, so a little background on Mike Williams in case y'all don't know him. He's currently a guard at I don't know how to pronounce it, Isidro in San Diego. He is currently ranked third in the recent top 2023 top 25 rankings, and he was freshman of the year last year with an average of 29.9 points, 6.7 rebounds, 4.9 assists, and 1.6 steals. And I believe he has around 2 million followers on Instagram. And just that tweet, going to a HBCU wouldn't be too bad. I'm just going to talk about what that means for the future of sports and different future of sports, HBCUs, and the effect that can have on a country. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Now, he spoke with reporter Taylor Rooks, and shout out to Taylor Rooks. She's been phenomenal in this, in these times with the reports and using her platform. But he spoke with reporter Taylor Rooks, sort of in an interview about his comment that he made, and just like HBCUs in general. So, this is exactly what he said. Mike Williams said, "With my social media following and influence, I feel that I have the chance to change sports forever. If there's anybody that's getting paid from me being at their school, I'd want to be my own people. I support the black community to the fullest." Now, that was big. That was a big statement for Mikey Williams to say, and that has a big influence on sports and other high school athletes by going into college. He also stated that players get starstruck by big name schools and forget that they write their own narrative. And he also said that he thought about this since he was younger, or he already had these thoughts of going to a HBCU when he was younger, because his mother did go to Hampton, which is a HBCU in Virginia. For those of you that don't know, HBCU is a historically black college or university. I meant to say that earlier. But so his mother went to Hampton, which is in Virginia, and ever since he's made those statements, he's had multiple offers from HBCUs. I believe he has 27 offers in general, but the HBCUs that he's gotten offers from are Arkansas Pine Bluff, Delaware State, Morehouse, Hampton, Florida A&M, North Carolina Central, Southern University, Alabama State, Grambling State, Howard, Texas Southern, Norfolk State, and Tennessee State. Now, I'm gonna just say my thoughts on the situation. This would be a generational and powerful move from Mikey Williams. He would set the way for other up and coming college stars, to think about, hey, why don't instead of going to a big school like Duke or something, like Duke for basketball or LSU for football, I'll go to an HBCU and try and make them big. Because, like he said, a lot of people get starstruck. Even I do. I would say, like, if I was a big time athlete, I would be like, oh, I would go to Kentucky for basketball, LSU for football, this, that, and the third. Whereas, he's right. It's not the colleges that make the athletes big, or it's not the colleges that make their narrative, make their story. It's the players. The players control that. The college doesn't get you drafted like top overall. We just saw a perfect example of this. Ja Morant. He was zero. He was a 0-star athlete coming out of high school. Goes to Murray State. Has an amazing sophomore year, where nobody's even heard of Murray State before. Takes him to the tournament. Just the fact that he took him to the tournament and won the first round was good enough, and also his skill was also his skill. But John Morant went from Murray State and was now the second overall pick in the draft. So it's not the schools that you go to; it's the player, the skill themselves. They don't go and be like, "Oh, he went to Duke; he's going to be great." We've seen plenty of busts from these big time schools, and we've seen a lot of people come from smaller schools like Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum. So this would be for them to go to a HBCU. That would be huge, and that would be a generational move that that paves the way for younger kids. Now, it's also not a lot of big time NBA players that go to HBCUs. Like the only one I can really think of currently is Kyle O'Quinn. Now he's not Kyle O'Quinn. He's a good basketball player. If you make it to the NBA, like if you make it to a professional league, you're a good athlete. I don't care. But Kyle O'Quinn, he's not like a superstar. He's not like a LeBron. He's not like LeBron James, Anthony Davis type of level of superstardom. Whereas, NFL has had multiple stars that went from HBCUs, like Steve McNair, Walter Payton, and more recently Tariq Cohen. Cohen went to North Carolina A&T. Shout out to North Carolina A&T. The NBA just hasn't had that connection of HBCU to the league, and not only that, you got more options now. So, yeah, I just think this will put a lot of big time players on the map. Now another thing about this situation is that it's amazing that he knows he has the power. To me it's amazing that Mikey knows he has this type of power over colleges' heads, because this is where we've seen time and time, like this is the day and age where athletes start to realize, oh, I hold all the chips, I have the power. Like we saw Le'Veon Bell wanted to get paid from Pittsburgh. He sat out for the whole year. Pittsburgh didn't pay him. He walked in free agency, and then bam, got his money with the Jets. We saw Odell Beckham was irritated in New York. A guy traded to Cleveland, became paid and got paid. And you saw I think Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, Ramsey. Ramsey was he wanted to get paid. He wanted to win, and there he goes to Los Angeles, and he might get paid. We don't know. We have to see that situation, but now we see, like, especially in the NBA, you have that power. Athletes have that power where it's like, oh, I want to win. I want to actually do something. I want to win. I want to get paid. Bam. They can leave. They can they can leave. Force trades, and I don't know. Like even now in the NFL, Dalvin Cook wants to get paid. He say he's holding out. He wants to get paid like Christian McCaffrey, and he's the top running back. I don't blame him. But we're starting to see that athletes have this power, and that it's not the coaches or the teams or the schools that make them. The schools benefit from having the players. It's not the players benefit from going to that school. Like we see, Duke 2 years ago, they had that big three. They had Zion, Barrett, and Reddish. Duke became a powerhouse school. That helped them out more than that got them more ratings, more headlines than it did with Ja Morant and Murray State initially. Whereas now, like if Mikey Williams was to go to a HBCU and more players started to follow that trend, that's going to hurt Duke and like schools like Duke, Kentucky, LSU, like all the big name schools. That's going to hit them in the pockets. That's going to hurt them financially. Whereas like with the like funding and sponsorships and stuff. Whereas if they go to HBCUs, they bring them up, and that's another point. It would help HBCUs get better recognition and better funding for the schools, and they can make the divisions and the conferences that those schools are in more competitive with other big time players in. Now, HBCUs are competitive for the players that go there, but it's not a lot of big time players. Say, like, what's the name? Say if that big three from Duke, say if they all went to like Howard, right? And then John Morant was at like a Norfolk State, and they had like another big time like who was it big? No, like just I had like another big time NBA player at Hampton or something. Like if they're all gonna make that competitive when they play each other, and that's gonna give them more TV ratings, more ratings, more funding, more more sponsorships, right? That's gonna draw people in and be like, oh, I might go play here. So that's gonna help out the HBCUs a lot, especially for the fact that they're heavily underfunded. And nothing. Now with the new rule that college athletes can get paid now off of their likeness, what's the name? Players like Mikey Williams, say if he went to like Hampton or Howard, he could do sponsorships and endorsement deals with those with those small black businesses and help raise their stock and their popularity and help them grow. Listen, HBCU, historically black college university. Although where those colleges and campuses are located at, they're primarily black neighborhoods. There's a lot of black businesses in there, big and small. Or there's a lot of black businesses. It's just one big black community. So if a big time player like that goes there, it's gonna draw in more people, draw in more crowds, views, and cameras. A lot people are gonna pay. Then you do the endorsement deals. It's gonna help that black business grow, and they're gonna become more successful, right? And we've seen this time and time again. Like for example, the Michael Vick documentary, his 30 for 30. We saw once he went to Virginia Tech, and that team started winning. He helped that team win. All them, school stores and stuff like all the school businesses were selling out. All the other local businesses started to sell out, or they started to turn out better, and that brought more people to Virginia Tech in that area, and it gave them more views on better channels, better coverage, and teams started all these people started to view, and all these people started to buy stuff around there, and especially if he's promoting the stuff, if the athlete is promoting stuff now, whereas they can get paid for it, these athletes can help these black businesses grow. So that's why I think that's big if Mikey Williams goes to a HBCU, this helps the black community enormously. This helps pave the way for younger athletes to consider going to HBCUs. That opens up more opportunities for black businesses to grow with these endorsements and sponsorships. And that helps HBCUs get more coverage. Like, it helps the schools get more coverage and, better funding. And maybe they move up to the top of college sports. And that, maybe that helps them move up the hierarchy of college sports. Alright, so that is it for this episode. Let me know in the comment section below what are your thoughts on Mikey Williams going to a HBCU, or if just different. What are your thoughts on different players considering going to historically black colleges? Also, which HBCU do you think Mikey Williams will go to if he were to go to one? And also, I just think even if he doesn't go to one, I just think the fact that he considered it and was ultimately contemplating it is gonna have other people think. Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys next time.